How's it howlin', everyone? Vin Wolf here, looking into another Echo Fighter for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. My hype music stopped. Why did my hype music stop? So today, we're going a little bit off the reservation and the Booyah base, and for an incredible idea. I know I'm making some really bad puns hinting at it, and a lot of you are just wondering, gee, Vin Wolf, why don't you just crack into it? Okay, I'm sorry, that was terrible. If it wasn't apparent already, Octolings. We're talking about the Octolings, of course. So, to my understanding, the idea of the Octolings as an Echo Fighter didn't even really become all that popular up until there was a leak saying that the Inklings would be getting an Echo Fighter. And of course, if an Inkling is going to get an Echo Fighter. But it wasn't until this leak that the Octolings became an idea. Because basically, what if I recall right, this leak had said that the Inkling would be getting an Echo Fighter, which was an interesting concept, but hey, that leaves literally one option. Who else could possibly echo the Inkling except for the Octoling? There is no one else. Of the 43 of you that have subscribed so far, you may know, based on one of my other videos, that Splatoon is my third favorite game. Splatoon 2 specifically. I love it. It is my favorite way to kill time. If they had a mobile version, I would pay full price again just to have it on my cell phone. It's so good. But of course, right out the gate, there's that one key argument that every character has. So let's look into it. So the key argument that I see most people using to disqualify the Octolings is that they're too new from the Octo DLC, the Octo expansion on Splatoon 2. But there's two key reasons why this is an invalid argument. First of all, the Octolings actually date back to the original Splatoon game on the Wii U, which of course, the Inklings also come from. The Octolings served as a form of antagonist. You'd have to fight your way through them in order to rescue the Zapfish in each level. At least during the single-player campaign, they weren't really there during the two-player. And of course, when considering any character, we gotta default back to my 4 key rules I put into place when it came to picking out Echo Fighters that could make it. And of course, let's go ahead and tackle the most obvious. Yes, they not only perfectly fill out the moveset, but I also think that we could get some really interesting animation changes in the Octolings. For example, we know that the Inklings currently use the thinner ink brush in order to use a side smash. However, with the Octolings, I think that they would go from using the thinner ink brush to the much wider Octo brush. Even the hairstyles are pretty different. Octoling boys have what I can only describe as a mohawk and was clearly an afro. And then of course the Octoling females have what, they can either have their hair down or their hair up in a ponytail. The triangular squid form takes on the more round Octo form. They have round ears instead of triangular ears for the Squiddos. You could say that they're pretty different all around. In the costume department, yeah, Octolings have all manner of unique gear specific to them for costumes. Right out of the gate, we have 3 unique Octoling amiibos coming down the pipeline, which will be setting up 3 new costume packs. Each one of those could be used as a separate costume. Then you have the default Octoling costume from the expansion for Agent 8. There's a lot that you could do with these characters that would really differentiate them from the Inkling. But there's a catch. Only one real problem, but honestly, it may just be enough to keep them out of the game. The Octolings would need 8 unique distinctive colors for their own ink. The Inklings in Super Smash Bros. Have the following 8 colors: orange, blue, yellow/gold, neon green, hot pink, sort of teal color, purple, and a lighter shade, indigo. And yeah, the Octolings could make use of some other colors. I mean, you could give them a darker shade of pink. They could use black, although admittedly that's a color we've never really used in Splatoon. A white or gray shade could kind of work. They used that in Splatoon 2 during one of the Splatfest. I think that was the, which came first, the chicken or the egg one. That was weird. You could also use sky blue, maybe a darker shade of green. I mean, that is a really bright shade of green for the Inkling. So maybe give them like a forest or an olive green. Ooh, forest green, definitely go forest green. And, well, I mean, there's red is still available, but that's not being used in Splatoon for what feels like obvious reasons. Not a good thing to, be spraying a color that could be compared to, internal body fluids in a game about shooting each other. If marketed for kids, of course. Call of Duty and all the others you're safe. Really, that's about it. You have dark shade of pink, black, white, sky blue, darker shade of green, and red. 2 of which I'm not sure that Splatoon would be comfortable using. The big problem with this is that Sakurai has made comments before on costuming for Echo Fighters, saying that there's a lot more that goes into the Echo Fighters than most people realize. Yes, there's the animation copying and all that, but the costumes is something that is unique to the Echo Fighters as well as the main characters. There's no duplicate costumes used between an Echo Fighter and a main base fighter, so that would create a bit of a concern. This is especially clear for the Octolings because we know the Inklings spray their ink everywhere. The Octolings would need their own 8 colors in order to be, playable. If you have them echoing the same color, then it's kind of confusing. We know the Inklings ink will be used to slow down enemy players. And if you're playing against another Inkling and you're both, say, purple, my favorite color, and it's going to get confusing to see why you're slowing down. I don't know. Admittedly, I say it's a big problem, but by comparison to everything else going for the Octolings, it kind of feels trivial. It would be a real shame if this is the only reason why they're not going to get in, but I could also kind of understand it. It's just the concept of the game mechanic. And for this reason, I'm afraid I can only give them a 50% chance of getting in. Unless this ink coloring gets resolved, then it's hard to imagine it happening. And now that I think about it, there's also the fact that they're really, really similar to the Inkling. Despite all the costume stuff that they could do differently, that would really just be more like 8 new costumes. Well, then again, there's the animation too. So yes, that does it for the Octolings. I give them a 50% chance. Like I said, the game mechanic thing may just be big enough that it keeps the Octolings out. You need to have 8 distinct colors. They need to be different. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. It would get too confusing on the field, especially if you're doing an 8-player match. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it. If you appreciated it, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe and check out other stuff that's on the channel right now. I've also got more coming down the pipe, and I'm going to start branching off of Smash Brothers because it feels like I'm wearing the topic down a little bit. I have done nothing but Smash characters for close to 2 weeks now. Specifically, I think I already said it, specifically roster choices. So I've got some ideas for the Mario DLC coming up and speculating. I'm already started work on a game review thing. So maybe that'll be like a bi-weekly show I'll do. I'll see y'all in the next video. We'll leave it at that. Stay blessed, everyone.